कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोधनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्र सदस्य श्रीमद श्रीलाभे चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्र सदस्य श्रीमद शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। शिव वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Today we have good fortune to have His Grace Jagan Mohan Gopal Prabhu. So, just like right now we had Kartik month. Now many devotees have gone for Kartik Yatra, and after Kartik Yatra, it's like every year we are distributing Srila Prabhupada books, especially Bhagavad Gita. Since many years, ISKCON Pune devotees have distributed very nicely, and since 4 years, we got first rank in the world. So this year we have very fortunate to have His Grace Jagan Mohan Gopal Prabhu. So he is very good in distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Since 3 years, he himself distributed more than 2,100 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. And not only he distributes Srimad Bhagavatam, personally he relishes Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day he is reading also. And he read all books of Srila Prabhupada at least 2-3 times. And since 9 years he is into Brahmacharya Ashram. Earlier he was there in Salem, now he is in South Bangalore. And now His Grace Jagan Mohan Prabhu and Samba Prabhu is sitting here. So both of them, they are going to different temples and inspiring the devotees to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. They are fully serving without any motivation. They are not after score, they are not after Lakshmi, just to educate the devotees to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. And recently in ICC meeting, happened in Vrindavan, the chairman of ICC body, His Grace Sahadev Prabhu, called him for giving a seminar to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. And when they met, both of them met His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. As all of you know that Vaisheshika Prabhu has a dream of distributing 1 lakh sets of Srimad Bhagavatam in 2026. This year we distributed 55,000 Srimad Bhagavatam sets in Bhadra marathon. But Vaisheshika Prabhu has dream of distributing 1 lakh sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. But Prabhuji convinced Vaisheshika Prabhu that why to wait till 2026? We will distribute in 2024 only. So now this year they came to Pune, and for whole month, December month, they will be in Pune and they will be with us. Personally, they will be distributing also, and they will go to different counselors group and inspire all the counselees to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. And they are fully convinced that each and every devotee can distribute at least 108 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So how many sets we can distribute? We have 6,000 devotees into 108. How much? 6 lakh sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hari Bol. So 6 lakh in Pune itself they can distribute, and they have full confidence. So let us hear from him. And yesterday, since while coming from Pune station, I was also there with them, and they have fully into distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. Recently, they distributed one Srimad Bhagavatam for a person who came to repair the car. And another, they are connected to me because of one Mataji, Ujjwala Mataji. She is a doctor, and she is also distributing to so many devotees. By the mercy of these devotees, this year we are also going to distribute many Srimad Bhagavatams. Let us welcome to Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra temple by loudly chanting one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 24, chapter title Explanation of the Atmarama verse, text 318. Please repeat. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata, Vibhu Sarva Ashraya, Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kaya Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kaya Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Khay Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Yes, someone can repeat. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat Vibhu Sarvashray Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kay. Mataji. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. Srimad Bhagavatam is identical with Krishna. Vibhu, the Supreme. Sarva Ashraya, the origin of everything, or that which controls everything. Prati Shloke, in every verse. Prati Akshare, in every syllable. Nana Artha Kay, there are varieties of imports. Translation, and there is no purport for this particular verse, but always the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita translation and purports are given by the great personalities, Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation, Srimad Bhagavatam is as great as Krishna, the Supreme Lord and shelter of everything. In each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam and in each and every syllable there are various meanings. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्ण तुल्य भागवत विभु सर्वाश्रय प्रति श्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नाना अर्थकै। Translation: Srimad Bhagavatam is as great as Krishna, the Supreme Lord and Shelter of everything. In each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam and each and every syllable, there are various meanings. Hare Krishna. Very happy to see the devotees of ISKCON Pune. I am coming from Tamil Nadu. At least this body, I can say, it had its birth in the location of Tamil Nadu, somewhere in Bharatavarsha. At least I am happy in the sense that this body had its birth in Bharata Bhumi, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has very famously requested all the citizens of, or at least all the human citizens of the Bharatavarsha to take up the task of Krishna consciousness by practicing it and also preaching it. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, not only Bharatavarsha, which is very confined to a location from Kashmir to Kanyakumari borders, it's now expanded by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that the instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, particularly to the people of Bharatavarsha, is now taken by even the Western devotees of the ISKCON society. So it's a great fortune on all the people of the world by Srila Prabhupada, that everybody is now taking up the task of accepting Krishna consciousness. Accepting Krishna consciousness, that itself is a very big task. What to speak about preaching the task of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, he often says in his conversations, even in his letters, in his books also, that Krishna consciousness movement is meant for declaring war against Maya. So it's not a very small task. Personally, one has to fight against Maya, and together we have to fight against all the evil elements of Kali. It's not a very small task. It's in one task. In one way, it's an easy task, but in many ways we can say that this is a very glorious task. We are always glorifying Srila Prabhupada because he took up this task of preaching Krishna consciousness all over the world, and especially preaching Krishna consciousness to the world where it's purportedly said in the Shastra that it's difficult to preach. It's in one way easy to preach to the Indians because they have this culture of Krishna consciousness right from their birth. This is Pune. This is a city from Maharashtra. And we know Maharashtra means it's a place of the Haridasas like Sant Tukaram, Vittaladev. We always see that, especially I am coming from Tamil Nadu, because so much of atheism spread by the leaders of, the so-called leaders of the Tamil Nadu. We see that when we advance towards north, we are seeing that the land becomes more and more pious. Right now I am in Karnataka. I see that that place is more pious in receiving Krishna consciousness because of so many Haridasas. Of course, all over India we have so many Haridasas, servants of Hari who preached Krishna consciousness. And Karnataka, it's also a very, very fertile place to distribute Krishna consciousness. And now I have come towards North. I remember some 10 years before when I started my journey, my first journey towards North India. That time he is not even a devotee, but then he is just a karmi who just accompanied me in the train. He said that people in North India are more pious than the South Indians. He gave one good reason is that if you go to Maharashtra, even in the street of Mumbai, you will see that people touching the cow and putting it on their head, on their forehead. It's like they are worshipping cow. Sorry to say, such things is rarely seen in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, we don't see such things, people worshipping cow in the street. They may even send the cow out. I'm just speaking generally. Definitely in Mumbai and other places also, still cow slaughter is going on. Still so much of animosity towards animals is happening. But still comparatively, when we go towards North, we see that people are becoming more and more pious. That's why Shastra says we should go towards North for reasons. We see in Bhagavatam how when Yudhishthira Maharaj, he gave the kingdom to Parikshit Maharaj and took the stage of sannyasa by going towards North. So northern direction is recommended for spiritual life. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the western directions are becoming purified. In fact, we have Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra by saying that Paschatya Deshatarine, he delivered the western side. Of course, Srila Prabhupada delivered all sides of the world, we know. Not only the western side. Okay, now coming to this particular verse, Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. This is a not often quoted verse in ISKCON society. Even many may not be even knowing this particular verse, this Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvashray Pratishloke Pratyakshare Nanartakoi. And I'm not sure whether Srila Prabhupada also quoted this, but the meaning is very clear. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. Of course, as the verse itself says, that Pratishloke Pratyakshare Nanartakai, that we can derive unlimited meanings for even every shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam or even every syllable from Srimad Bhagavatam. So similarly, for this particular verse also we can speak on unlimitedly. Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. It doesn't mean that only Bhagavatam can be expanded unlimitedly. Chaitanya Charitamrita is also, in one sense, Bhagavat. It's also speaking about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His most merciful form, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So definitely, we can expand unlimitedly the teachings of Sri Krishna's Kaviraja Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is here it is mentioned, Krishna Tulya Bhagavat. Srila Prabhupada, in his translation, he says that Srimad Bhagavatam is identical with Krishna. That's the exact meaning, exact Sanskrit meaning. If you say it's the Tulya, Tulya refers to equal. I just came across the front of this temple. There is a Tulabar. Tulabar. We call it Tulabar. I think the same should be here. Tulabar refers to some equal position, equal weight you are going to do. You are going to match one weight with the other weight. So equal. Tulya refers to equal. So Krishna Tulya Bhagavatam means Krishna is equal to Srimad Bhagavatam. Or as Srila Prabhupada, he expands the translation. This is his style. Srila Prabhupada often expands the translation as if it's a purport. He makes the meaning clear. The meaning of anything very clear. We appreciate so much of Srila Prabhupada because of his clarity in presenting Krishna consciousness. The way that Srila Prabhupada presented Krishna consciousness to the world, it's so clear. It's so clear. It's same as Bhagavatam. As Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, and Bhagavatam is compared to the sun. Puranarkod notitaha. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says in the first canto. That Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, and it has risen as the sun to dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga. So this Bhagavatam is like a sun. Sun means it's very clear. There is no need of any other thing. Nothing is needed to show the sun. In fact, sun makes it everything clear. So Srila Prabhupada's, this Bhaktivedanta purports are so clear. It makes everything clear. What was not clear can be seen with the help of the sun. Similarly, the knowledge of the Shastra, which is very difficult even for the people of the Vedic culture to understand, was so easily grasped in a very short time by the people who are out of touch of Vedic culture, the Western people. So this is because of the way Srila Prabhupada presented Krishna consciousness. It's very sweet, it is very clear, and it is straightforward. No hodgepodge, no mixing of anything, and just pure Krishna Bhakti flowing in the books that Srila Prabhupada has given us. We know this process is started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Kevala Ananda Kanda. This sweet process of singing and chanting is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, but that was nicely expanded by Srila Prabhupada. And it's needed to have a philosophy to understand, to make people understand why we sing and dance. As Srila Prabhupada says in one of the lectures, just singing, chanting and dancing, bas, that's enough. That's enough. If one can come to the level of singing and chanting, that's enough. But if someone wants to know why you are doing this, then we have all these books. So devotees should know this philosophy. It's not that we are singing, we are chanting every day, we are honoring prasadam. It's no need of these books because we have come to the level of singing and chanting and accepting Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, still we should study Srila Prabhupada books for many reasons. One good reason we see in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he himself says that Siddhanta Baliya Chitte Karalos Iho Hoite Krishna Loge Sudruda Manas. If you want to become very determined in Krishna consciousness, strongly catch hold the process of Krishna consciousness, then you should be strong in Siddhanta. You should be very strong in Siddhanta. Otherwise, if you are very lazy, alas refers to laziness. If you are lazy in understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, I know Krishna, I am just chanting, I am just dancing, I am just honoring prasad, no need of any other thing. These books are for jnanis, jnanakanda people. No. These books are pure bhakti books. So these books are needed to strengthen our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, why would Srila Prabhupada write these books? So these books are very important. So one good reason that we should read these books is that we can strengthen our Krishna consciousness. One can have a solid Krishna conscious foundation, not just foundation, and also the place, ashraya, the shelter, everything we can find in Srila Prabhupada books. Like Adi, Anta, then Madhya, everything for us Srila Prabhupada. Just as we see in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that association of devotees is needed in our initial stage, in the middle stage, and at the final stage after perfection also. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada books are always the foundation for us, and that always keeps us in Krishna consciousness. So we should be very thorough in the Siddhanta. And also one important thing is that when one reads Srila Prabhupada books, we see that this is just nectar. Just as somebody is very happy singing and chanting, it's the same. It's the same in Srila Prabhupada books also. It's not that we are having some bliss in singing and chanting, but then there is no bliss in reading. It means our bliss in singing and chanting is not in the proper understanding. When one is actually in real bliss of singing and chanting, definitely that person will relish Srila Prabhupada's books. And coming to this particular subject that I want to speak about today is that distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And now we are all in the marathon of distributing Srila Prabhupada books. We always have a marathon in the month of December, and now it's extended for two months, November 15 to January 15. It's called marathon. It's marathon means we really work hard so much to push forward distributing Srila Prabhupada books. That doesn't mean that the other part of the year we are not engaging in any sort of book distribution. Actually, book distribution is always our program, and it is more than during the period of marathon. It may be a Bhadra Purnima marathon, or it's a December marathon, or a Gaur Purnima Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon. The main activity of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is to push forward this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And for us, that knowledge is present in Srila Prabhupada books. I just saw so many quotes of Srila Prabhupada speaking about the importance of book distribution. This has been displayed here. You all would have noticed this. So this book distribution is a very, very important activity for us. It's a steady activity, it's a constant activity, and it's going to be an eternal activity also for the followers of the ISKCON movement. We should do this. We are doing it. Definitely we are doing it. We are doing so many preaching activities, and all the preaching activities are centered around Srila Prabhupada books. And it has to only intensify more and more. And particularly recently, we see that devotees are also getting some interest in distributing Srila Prabhupada's sets of books, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we are traveling, myself and Samba Prabhu, and then we are a group of devotees who constantly speak and encourage and enthuse and inspire devotees to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Definitely distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam is happening in our society. In fact, I saw the score of Pune, December Marathon 2022. I think you have distributed some 2,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Yeah. So already distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam is going on. I was only feeling that the stress that we have given to other Srila Prabhupada books like Bhagavad Gita and Krishna is not much stressed in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many reasons why devotees a little bit hesitate to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. One may be that it's volume, it's many volumes. It's not just a single book. It's actually many volumes of books. And the other thing is that it's quite costly. I do not know whether this is the concern of the people to whom we distribute, but at least devotees have concern. Devotees think that Bhagavatam is costly. Because many times, as Prabhu was saying, that we distributed Srimad Bhagavatam to a car mechanic. Who is a car mechanic? He is not having a very good position in, at least economically, he is not good, very nicely situated in the society. But that's just one of the persons who took Bhagavatam from us. We have so many people who have taken Bhagavatam, who are all coming from a very poor background, farmer background. Not just farmer background, even we have people who have taken Bhagavatam with backgrounds like servant maids. Servant maids are taking Bhagavatam. And we have a person who is what we can say, I do not know whether this is available now. It's a newspaper wala. There are many times these newspaper people, they come and throw newspaper. Now I do not know how good the trend is, because everything is becoming digitalized. But we had a person, devotee, who distributed Bhagavatam set to a newspaper wala. He was just simply coming and throwing newspaper, and then this devotee preached to that person, and then he took Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is for everyone. Yesterday we had a discussion, we had one Zoom meeting where one of the counselors and the counselees devotees, they were asking, Prabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam we generally give to devotees. Why is that we have, or how is it possible that we can give Srimad Bhagavatam to other persons who have no understanding of Krishna consciousness? I was giving an answer on varied reasons, and one reason is that Srila Prabhupada himself distributed Srimad Bhagavatam to non-devotees. Srila Prabhupada was distributing Srimad Bhagavatam to the Mlechas and Yavanas. Srila Prabhupada, he went to America not with Bhagavad Gita, with Srimad Bhagavatam. He took Srimad Bhagavatam to America. He went to America with Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was distributing Srimad Bhagavatam by keeping it in the stores of America. And the people were taking it. So sometimes devotees ask that this is to be distributed only to the devotees. I was thinking, how can we think that we are a devotee? Because when I remember when one devotee asked me, Prabhu, how is it that we can give Bhagavatam to such people? I always say that, Prabhu, somebody gave Bhagavatam to me, then why not to anyone? Or we can ask, if we are qualified to have Bhagavatam, then why not others not have Bhagavatam? It means we don't have any qualifications to have Bhagavatam at all. It's Bhagavatam bestowing us the qualifications to possess it. In fact, just as Krishna is Swarat, Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the word Janmate Yasataya Anvayat Itaratascha Abhinyas Swarat. So, as Krishna is Swarat, Bhagavatam is also not different from him, Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. So, Bhagavatam is also Swarat. Krishna can go anywhere and everywhere. If Krishna is ready to go to the countries of Mlecha and Yavana Desh, then similarly Bhagavatam is also going to people who are in the mindset of Mlecha and Yavana. In fact, we always speak about Krishna consciousness. When Krishna Tulya Bhagavata, then Krishna consciousness or Bhagavatam consciousness is both the same. If we want to give Krishna consciousness to others, then the best way is to give them Bhagavatam. Of course, we know Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita is non-different literature. But we should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature. Is the literature which is chosen not by Srila Prabhupada. Not that Srila Prabhupada, he just translated Bhagavatam among many other literatures. It is the parampara. It is the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that the worship of Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is the best. The best of devotees are Ramya Kachit Vrajavadau Vargenava Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mohan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matam Itam Tatam Tatradadam Napara. So this is one of the famous Acharya. He says that the religion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to worship Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. The best of devotees are the gopis. And the book which expounds this philosophy is Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the religion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the outside world, it is very well known that Bhagavad Gita is the book of the Hindus. Though generally we don't address ourselves as Hindus, but as practice of Krishna consciousness, in one sense, they can be seen as Hindus. And people are generally, they think that Bhagavad Gita is the book of the Hindus. If at all, Hindus are known as Hindus because of the Vedic literatures, the Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, then the 18 Puranas, then Upa Puranas, then there is Vedanga, then there is Vyakarana, then we have Chanda. Like that, there are so many literatures are there in the big gamut of Vedic literatures, and there is Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Itihasas also. So one may say that if these Vedic literatures define the Hindu people, and in that everybody think that Bhagavad Gita is the book which is for the Hindus. But these Vedic literatures, which are composed by Vedavyas, Vedavyas composed all the Vedic literatures. In fact, Veda comes from God, Krishna, but that Veda, one Veda, was made into four by Vedavyas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva, and then he distributed each Veda to his disciple, and then every shaka of that one particular Veda was taken by the grand disciples. Like that, whole Veda becomes dissipated to so many disciples and grand disciples of the parampara. But everything was written by Vedavyas. He wrote it down. Then he wrote down the 18 Puranas for the mass of people to have a good understanding. Still he was not satisfied. Then finally he thought that I have to Stri Shudra Dijobandhu Nam. For all the people who are less intelligent, let me present Mahabharat. So he presented Mahabharat after presenting all the other literatures. Still he was not happy. He wanted to make a clear understanding of the Veda by presenting Vedanta Sutra. Still he was not satisfied even after the presentation of Vedanta Sutra and Mahabharat. Then finally, in his despondency, he realized that he did not exclusively glorify Vasudeva. Na tata Vasudevasya. Just because he did not exclusively glorify Vasudeva, he was despondent, and Narada Muni gave him the guidance that you did not write Srimad Bhagavatam, that's why you are unhappy. Write Srimad Bhagavatam, then you will be happily situated. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature that Vedavyas wrote in his maturity. So if at all somebody is saying that Hinduism is our culture and Vedic literature was the base for that, which was written by Vedavyas, and Vedavyas himself, he says in his own words from Srimad Bhagavatam that Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Parairishvara. What is the use of any other scripture other than Srimad Bhagavatam? This one literature is enough. I am speaking exactly from whatever Srila Prabhupada has made a translation and commentary for that. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature of the Hindus, if at all you want to speak about Hindu literature or the best of Hindu literature, it is Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, as Srila Prabhupada often says, it's an introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is an introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. Definitely, that introduction itself is a heavy stuff for everyone. Even for us, Bhagavad Gita is a very big stuff for us. But still, Bhagavad Gita is introduction. Srila Prabhupada in one of his lectures, he says that Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD of spiritual life. Many are stuck in ABCD. Of course, by having a good understanding of ABCD, we'll be able to progress further. ABCD doesn't mean that it's a belittling the book. ABCD means it's a beginning. Just as if you don't know ABCD, then how you are going to progress further? You can't speak any word. You can't make a word without ABCD. You can't form sentences with words which is having its base in ABCD. So ABCD is very much needed. But not that only ABCD is needed. You have to gradually make words, then frame sentences, write a beautiful kavita, then you will be able to speak wonderfully or repeat whatever. Then understanding happens so nicely. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a very strong foundation in our spiritual life, in our understanding of Krishna consciousness. So it's needed. We have to distribute Bhagavad Gita, there is no doubt. In fact, we are distributing lakhs of Bhagavad Gita. We can distribute crores of Bhagavad Gita also. But still, we should know that we should not simply distribute only Bhagavad Gita. We should make people come to the understanding of Bhagavatam also. How long we can keep on staying in the first standard? We have to move. We have to move from first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth, fifth. Then gradually we have to come to college, like that. Always first standard means it's like we are failing. We should gradually upgrade. We should. In fact, sometimes I used to say that the contribution of the grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he made a bigger contribution which is unmatchable. It's really completely, it's glorious, unimaginably, inconceivably glorious that he gave all these literatures to us in a form which is very easily understandable, clear. That's Srila Prabhupada's biggest contribution. And Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they took the task of distributing these literatures. We see that how Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they started distributing the literatures starting from Back to Godhead magazines, Then gradually they came to Maha big books. Then we know how the last 40 and 50 years of history shows that we have distributed close to 550 million books of Srila Prabhupada, some 55 crores we have distributed. That's the big contribution done by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and to a good extent the grand disciples also. Now it's the time for the grand disciples. Now it's our time that we begin our contribution to the Sampradaya by taking the next venture of making Srimad Bhagavatam available to the public. In fact, I was just seeing the number of print runs of Srimad Bhagavatam. In our Tamil language, closely we have printed some 40 to 50,000 copies of Bhagavatam so far in the last 3 or 4 decades. And if you make a aggregate of all the languages in India, maybe it's around 5 lakhs Bhagavatam sets. And to the extent that we have distributed 55 crores of Srila Prabhupada books, this 5 lakh Bhagavatam sets is actually very meager. So now we have very big task ahead. And this is the time. This is the time I feel for 2 good reasons is that now people have purchasing power. Don't think that Bhagavatam is costly. People even in a village can afford to buy a smartphone which is more costly than a Bhagavatam. At least monetarily seeing, if the money value of the cheapest smartphone is more high than the set of Bhagavatam that we distribute in our temple. If the people who are economically poor can afford a smartphone, they can afford a television, they can afford a two-wheeler, they can afford for their sense gratification monthly recharges, monthly petrol allowances, monthly cinema tickets, monthly going to whatever this food, then why not Srimad Bhagavatam, which is going to be a only one-time purchase in their life. Many times we see that the karmis, they have 20,000, 25,000 worth. That's a minimum. Even an ordinary worker, he is having some 20,000 rupees worth mobile phone, which is like having 4 sets of Bhagavatam in his house. If you sacrifice one phone, one can have 4 sets of Bhagavatam in their house, but they don't even have 1 set Bhagavatam, but on the contrary, they have 4 smartphones in their house. I don't want to blame the people who are having smartphones. I have to blame the devotees, us. We are not distributing Bhagavatam, they are buying smartphones. We are not distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, they are keeping television sets. We are not distributing Bhagavatam sets or Prabhupada's sets of books. They are ready for spending all their money for sense gratification. First, devotees ourselves should be convinced that we have to take the task of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam somehow or other. We do not know what method one will take, but somehow we should take the task of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. People will take it. We have seen people taking it. When I was discussing about the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam with Vaisheshika Prabhu, he was using one particular word, that devotee should become an advocate for Srimad Bhagavatam. An advocacy of Srimad Bhagavatam is the requirement now. He was using the word advocacy and I was using the word propaganda. Both are almost similar. That we should become a person who is making a propaganda for Srimad Bhagavatam. See, we have for a long time made a good propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. We have to continue that also. I am not saying that this has to be replaced. We have for a long extent made a good propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. Not only the Vaishnava schools are making a propaganda for Srimad Bhagavatam, even our eternal enemies, the Mayavadis, the impersonalists, they are also making a propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. Right? Not that we are making a propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. Everybody is making. Even our eternal enemies, the Mayavadis. We want to smash their philosophy. Srila Prabhupada books is all about smashing, of course not all about, much about smashing the philosophy of Mayavad, impersonalism. But they are also making a propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. And not only the jnanis, the yogis are also making a propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. We have many so-called yogis who are also advocating Bhagavad Gita. And we have karmis also who are making a propaganda for Bhagavad Gita. They say that this is a Hindu book, everybody should keep it. Yeah, everybody will do it. Even a person who is having a material desire, he's called a karmi, he is also making an advocacy for Bhagavad Gita. And yesterday I just read a letter from, this is the Chief Minister of Haryana. He has glorified the ISKCON activities of the Gita Olympiad that's happening in Haryana state and obviously in all over India. So the Chief Minister appreciated the activities of ISKCON for doing a marathon of Gita distribution to the youths, to all the people of the state. So I was seeing that in that letter, the Chief Minister of Haryana, I'm not getting his name, some lol it came. So he was saying that even in his own state, he is having one program of International Gita Olympiad. That's not done by ISKCON devotees. Even the politicians who are advocating Sanatan Dharma, they are also promoting Bhagavad Gita. So there is already so much of propaganda by everyone. But for Srimad Bhagavatam, not much propaganda has happened. Srimad Bhagavatam propaganda can be done only by a devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam Vaishnavanam Priyam. Of course, Bhagavad Gita as it is can also be propagated only by devotees. The pure devotional aspect can be propagated only by the devotees. And exclusively Srimad Bhagavatam can be done only by devotees. And we should do it. In fact, recently I was just in one of the school programs that happened in the one of the villages of Karnataka, but it's a Navodaya school. It's all over and it's a central school. So in that Navodaya school, they had one cultural program. In that cultural program, they had a theme for the presentation for the students. That theme was Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. This Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam is becoming popular now, and we all devotees who are here, who are conversant with the outside world, they should be knowing that how even the Prime Minister of India, the G20 meet is going to happen. That is also having its theme as Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. I do not know how many devotees have this understanding of this Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. Vasudha refers to the earth, and so Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam means we are all in the same earth, we are all belonging to the same family. And if devotees, those who have scrutinizingly studied Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes in his preface the exact theme of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. I do not know whether devotees have ever realized this. To my surprise, even I was just realizing when I read about Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, I was just realizing somewhere I have heard about, because I do not know Sanskrit. I thought Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam means something else, but then when I thought that this one family ideal, then immediately it clicked for me that Srila Prabhupada speak about this Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam in his preface to Srimad Bhagavatam. I just want to make you hear this. This is what Srila Prabhupada speaks in his preface. He is just beginning his Bhagavatam purport by beginning with the preface. I am just reading from Srila Prabhupada's preface to Srimad Bhagavatam. We must know the present need of human society. And what is that need? Human society is no longer bounded by geographical limits to particular countries or communities. Human society is broader than in the Middle Ages, and the world tendency is toward one state or one human society. The ideals of spiritual communism, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, are based more or less on the oneness of the entire human society, nay, of the entire energy of living beings. The need is felt by great thinkers to make this a successful ideology. Srimad Bhagavatam will fill this need in human society. It begins, therefore, with the aphorism of Vedanta philosophy, Janmati Asyataha, to establish the ideal of a common cause. If you keep on reading, you'll just find it. So that oneness of all living beings, that one family, that even the politicians are speaking about, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, is what Srimad Bhagavatam is beginning about. Janmati Asyataha. There is a common cause. One family means one father. And that one father is fully described Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam in a very philosophical, in the best way in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada is presenting that Srimad Bhagavatam to us. So this G20 meeting that's happening, should be all about discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. This G20 meeting should be meant for propagating Srimad Bhagavatam. This G20 meeting, if it culminates in giving this knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam to each and every person of the world, then Vasudeva Kudumbakam exists, will prevail. So we devotees, we should take this task. Even if the other leaders who speak of some levels of Sanatan Dharma, but we know that Sanatan Dharma is not possible without Bhagavad Dharma. Srila Prabhupada in many places, Krishnam Dharmam Sanatanam. Krishna is Sanatana Dharma and Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. So without Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatana Dharma cannot be established. Sanatana Dharma is always there, but if you want to make Sanatana Dharma allowable for everyone, then definitely without the propagation of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is not possible. We are giving Bhagavad Gita. I want to make one verse quoted from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you all should be knowing, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tattvataha Tektva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mamiti So Arjuna. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that one who understands that my birth and activities are transcendental, O Arjuna, after leaving his body, he attains me. This is what I'm just paraphrasing the translation. That Krishna is speaking about his Janma and birth as transcendental, and this should be known. And in the whole of Bhagavad Gita, you are not going to find the birth of Krishna at all. Whole of Bhagavad Gita, you are not going to find the activities of Krishna. One activity of Krishna, Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita. That is the only activity there in Bhagavad Gita. But the Janma and Karma of Bhagavad Gita speaking about is there in which literature? Srimad Bhagavatam. So one has to come to Srimad Bhagavatam to come to the transcendental understanding. Without Srimad Bhagavatam, this is not possible. Srila Prabhupada in one of his lectures, he says that, maybe I can just read out. It's a very clear verse that Srila Prabhupada speaks. This is a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada for the first canto, second chapter, third verse. Just one line I'm reading. As God is one, similarly to understand Him, there is only one literature, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature. If you want to understand Krishna, then you have to come to Bhagavatam. That's full. We are distributing Srila Prabhupada's small books, Mahabig books, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna. Definitely that is also sound in Bhagavad philosophy. One will come to understanding of Krishna consciousness. But anyway, getting all other books also, but one will fully come to Bhagavatam. One has to come to Bhagavatam finally. But now it's time that devotees can take up the task of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. One way, the first good way of making a propaganda for Srimad Bhagavatam is distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. If you distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, that is a good propaganda for Bhagavatam. Because when somebody buys Bhagavatam, that itself is a propaganda. Definitely he will speak about Bhagavatam and he himself is getting Srimad Bhagavatam. And then constantly we have to speak about Bhagavatam. We have to speak about Bhagavatam. In fact, our Sampradaya is about Bhagavatam. We know nowadays we are seeing devotees speaking on big philosophical topics like Sat Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami Sat Sandarbha. And what is Sat Sandarbha? Sat Sandarbha is a delineation of, or lucidly and then in a very accurately describing all the 6 aspects of the Supreme Absolute Truth with Srimad Bhagavatam or based on Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is all Srimad Bhagavatam which is so wonderfully taken by Jiva Goswami, and then he explained all the 6 sandarbhas in his treatise. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the literature that devotees should take it in their hand. And Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully given Bhaktivedanta purports for the whole text of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should now take this task. If at all we are not going to take now, then we are going to have a big challenge with the Kali personified. I do not know how much devotees are seeing. Actually, there is a big battle going on. Big battle is going on. Not that this is invisible, it's a very visible battle going on. We are supposed to be on the side of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army and fighting against the big battle which is being waged by Kali. And if you are not going to do anything about that, then we are going to be lost in that. We have to, at least for self-defense and also for the success of this Sankirtana movement, we have to fight. Srila Prabhupada, he always spoke as if he is the commander of the army, and then he was pushing all his book distributors to go on with this book distribution. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, in one of his letters, he speaks about dropping bombs in the lap of Maya. I do not know whether you have heard this letter. Dropping bombs in the laps of Maya by distribution of these Vedic literatures. Now it is high time that we have to drop huge bombs. We have been dropping bombs. Of course, Prabhupada's all books are very, very powerful bombs. But now let us drop bigger and bigger and bigger bombs. And Srimad Bhagavatam is really a huge bomb. Really, it's a very huge bomb. And we have to do it. We are the army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially our commander of Srila Prabhupada. So we should take this task. There are so many ways which I myself is here to speak to devotees also. One, of course, because devotees may be encouraged, how you, myself or other devotees were able to distribute some thousands of Bhagavatam sets. One easy technique that I did, which everyone here in this place or in this whole ISKCON Pune community or all over the world community can do, is that just by using your smartphone, you can distribute not less than 100 sets of Bhagavatam. Just using your smartphone. Prabhu was speaking about how we were inspiring the devotees. I can say that I did not inspire any brahmachari, but I could personally, not by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, many Grahastha devotees were inspired and then they distributed hundreds of Bhagavatam sets in their life. And this they did not by going into the streets. Definitely in all possible ways we should distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. We want to go to the streets also. But now I can see that everything is, people say that now the world is global, it's now in our hand. Yes, that's true. The world is now in your hand. All the streets are in your hand. You have so many contacts in your mobile phones. Simply you can call all your contacts. Definitely many may not be having Bhagavatam. Not that our contacts list we are having only our devotee names. We have so many other people's names also. Our friends, our relatives, our well-wishers, our teachers, or our students, or our colleagues. Like that we have so many contacts in our mobile phones. So each and every devotee can make an attempt to call their colleagues, friends, who they are already purified because of your connection. Because whenever you call, they will think of Krishna. Because that's how the purification has happened to them. So already they are in one level ready to accept Krishna consciousness because of the connection that you have given. And if you make an attempt to call and speak to them and speak about Bhagavatam, many will be glad. I have many stories to share like this. How on my word, many took. Of course, there may be some failures also. If you speak, they may not take. I struggled with my friend for 7 years. He didn't take Bhagavatam. Anyway, but I continued. At the 7th year when I continued, he said, anyway, you are not going to leave me if I don't take Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. You please send it, I will take it. So the 7th attempt was a 1-minute conversation. It was done. Every year I used to call him once or twice and asking about why don't you take it? Why don't you take it? He will say no, later, like that. And I have many devotees also. They have the same experience. I have one Mataji. She always calls her contacts. She is a very introvert only. Because of the service given, she want to do something. So she always used to call her contacts and speak them about Bhagavatam for 2-3 minutes. They will disagree. Then after 1 month again she will call, disagree. 3rd month, 4th month, 6th month, they will agree. Okay, send. Like that, it's possible. If not in 1 month, 108 sets can be done, but at least in a year, devotees can so easily distribute 108 sets. But this is marathon month. I can even push that every devotee attempt 108 sets of Bhagavatam this month itself. If every devotee, as Prabhu made a count, you have 5,000 congregation members in ISKCON Pune. If every devotee is doing 100 sets, 5 lakh sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Vaisheshika Prabhu will be very happy. I told him that 1 lakh can be achieved in 2024. I spoke with Sarvalakshana Prabhu. I said, Prabhu, this 1 lakh can be done in Pune itself. Why all over India? And now, in fact, when we spoke with Sarvalakshana Prabhu, he was very happy to invite us here. We told that, Prabhu, we can do such a big thing in a city like Pune, Prabhu. He said, Prabhu, we have 5,000 congregation members. If they do one set, we can do 5,000 sets. I said, Prabhu, don't speak about one. Speak about hundreds. Let every devotee do 100 sets, 5 lakh sets can be done. He was really very happy. I said, Prabhu, please come, whatever way you can inspire us, we can do. I said that I have nothing to inspire. I have only one thing, that devotees simply desire it. That's all. We should only simply desire. Because devotees generally ask me, Prabhu, how do you do it? I said, Prabhu, the best thing, the best technique is that first you desire. With one thing I can just finish this class, otherwise I can keep on and on speaking about distribution of Bhagavatam sets. But I am available here, maybe a couple of classes also I may be able to give, that time I can speak further also. I spoke about desire. We are all in Krishna consciousness now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. But we should not forget that we had all sorts of illicit desires in our previous life. Either in this life, but prior to Krishna consciousness, or our previous other lives, we had all sorts of illicit desires. We know that Pita Makas Jagato Mata Data Pitama, Krishna is the father of all living entities. He is the father of us. Even if we had an illicit desire, still it was Krishna who was sanctioning and fulfilling our illicit desire, but the responsibility was borne by us. Without Krishna's permission, we cannot engage in even an illicit activity. Even the sanction of Krishna has to be there for an illicit activity. If a robber wants to steal, then Krishna has to give the sanction for the robber to steal. Otherwise the robber will be caught. If the politicians, they want to make some corruption, still there should be a sanction from Krishna. Otherwise the politician will be caught. So without the sanction of Krishna, nothing will happen, either good or bad. But still, Krishna was fulfilling all our desires, either illicit or licit. But for every desire, we have to take the responsibility. But Krishna was always waiting when we will have the pure desire of taking Krishna consciousness. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Nachat tasman manusyeshu kashinme priyakrittamaha. Krishna is telling that his desire, what is his desire? In fact, he is saying that how he is so much loving the devotees who are taking the task of preaching Krishna consciousness. So Krishna's desire is that if we preach Krishna consciousness, we can become more and more dear to him. In fact, Anya Priyataro Bhavi. I used to say to devotees that Krishna speaks about this Priya, how this person is dear to me in many places in Bhagavad Gita. He says that if somebody is tolerant, he is very dear to me. If somebody is renunciant, he is dear to me. There are so many places Krishna uses the word Priya, 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 Priya like that. But in no places Krishna says Anya Priyataro Bhavi. There is nobody who is more dear to me than he who is preaching Krishna consciousness. Means, just see how much Krishna becomes pleased when we preach Krishna consciousness. So this is the desire of Krishna to preach, and when you have a desire to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very pure desire, will he not fulfill that? When Krishna was fulfilling all our illicit desires for unlimited lifetimes, why not he fulfill our pure desire to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, which he himself is also desiring to do? We should first desire. Amidst all challenges, we should go for distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. We should keep on speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Definitely, some may say no, but still we should keep on speaking. I will say that my friend who took Bhagavatam after 7 years, or even the devotee who distributed after 6 times approaching, that every effort was made to make that person convinced to take Srimad Bhagavatam. In the first attempt, some 20% was convinced. Then the second effort, 40%. Third effort, 60. Like that, after when the person reaches 100%, then he takes Srimad Bhagavatam. But if we don't make that attempt, then we have to begin from zero. Don't think that we have preached but he did not take Bhagavatam. No, you have made the 20%, 25% job done. The other devotee will do the next 75%, whatever is needed. So any effort done, even if it is not taking Bhagavatam, don't we have to worry. Still we can proceed with speaking and speaking and speaking. Constantly speaking. I was saying, Sarlakshmi Prabhu and to our devotees also that we want to create some sensation for distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. When that sensation comes in the society, then everybody will come and grab Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like here, yesterday, in half an hour, we had 3 persons approaching us for Srimad Bhagavatam and 2 agreed to take Bhagavatam. And yesterday night, 1 person agreed to take Srimad Bhagavatam. It's in your own temple that people are at least coming and asking about Bhagavatam. And if we constantly speak about Bhagavatam, then definitely more can be done. So let us begin this task. Let us begin. Of course, it is already going on, but not in a massive scale. Now let's do it in a massive scale also. And as Sarlakshmi Prabhu was telling in yesterday's Zoom meeting, that if you distribute 1 Srimad Bhagavatam, it is like 36 Bhagavad Gitas, 36 Mahabig books, because Bhagavatam has some special points, 72 points for the set. So in all ways, devotees are getting encouragement to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's my humble request to all devotees that you please make an attempt. If Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully spent all his night hours really working so hard to give the Bhaktivedanta purports, for all his night job, why don't we do a day job? For all his night job in his old age, why don't we do a day job of distributing his books in our young age? What's the difficulty we have? We don't have a big task of thinking and seeing the commentary of various acharyas and writing a book. It's really a very, very big task. It's not an ordinary thing. The translation that Srila Prabhupada did is not an ordinary thing. It's really a very, very special task that Srila Prabhupada can only do. And he did that. Our only job is to make these books available. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the book that Srila Prabhupada, we know how much he endeavored. Even without, in fact, Srila Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita because somebody asked him, Swamiji, can you recommend any Bhagavad Gita for me? And Srila Prabhupada, he writes, if somebody has read Introduction to Bhagavad Gita, they will see that Srila Prabhupada is saying in the Introduction to Bhagavad Gita, why he wrote Bhagavad Gita. Because one lady asked him, Swamiji, can you recommend Bhagavad Gita? And Srila Prabhupada could not find any bona fide edition. So he himself translated Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, prior to Bhagavad Gita, he was always translating Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is a very important literature that you should now focus on distributing. So please devotees, please take a big attempt to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Every devotee, please set a goal. Don't think that 108 Bhagavatam sets in my life, 108 sets in a month, or 108 sets max in a year. Because BBT has to supply you books also. Even BBT may not have 5 lakh sets of Bhagavatam. But still, if you have such a agenda and then if you keep on pushing, distributing Bhagavatam, then we can push BBT to supply books. Don't worry, BBT will be happy to supply books. We should take a marathon of distributing Bhagavatam sets. 108 in our life is nothing. Directly, it is actually nothing. And if every devotee is doing 108 sets, then just imagine, inside our preaching will be done. If everybody is doing 108 sets in ISKCON, our preaching will be done actually. What more there? Everybody is having Bhagavatam in their house. Then we have to only invite them to the temple and have a Matchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. Only the Parasparam has to take. So let's make this attempt. It's possible. It's not that it's impossible. Every devotee can easily give 108 Bhagavatam sets just by sitting, calling their contacts and giving. You will have so many friends, well-wishers, colleagues. Especially grahasthas are working outside. You will have so many people known to you. Every person who is known to you, you just speak about Bhagavatam. We are also arranging for some few hundreds of brochures or posters which you can show, send by WhatsApp and convince them. And one thing, sorry Prabhu, I am taking much of the time. One thing that we saw this is possible is that we gave Srimad Bhagavatam in installments. As Sarlakshmi Prabhu, he was saying when he was working for this encyclopedia. What's the encyclopedia? World Book Encyclopedia, they gave 10 installments for distributing that World Book Encyclopedia. And we can distribute Bhagavatam in 3-4 installments, like monthly. I was just giving one more suggestion for the devotees when I was giving a class to the devotees of Gujarat. That time I told that every devotee can always keep stock of some 15-20 Bhagavatam sets in their house. That's a very good thing. I remember my instructing spiritual master, His Holiness Bhaktika Swami, he said in one of his lectures that our devotees should fill their whole house with Srila Prabhupada's books, sets of books, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, that there is no place for us to sleep. Somehow we have to go and distribute, then only we will be finding some place to sleep. Maybe even if there is a place, we won't have a sleep because we have so many sets in our house. So we should be like warriors. We should be like warriors fighting for the Srila Prabhupada's army. Krishna consciousness is not about a very dull or... It's like adventurous, and also it's like a Kshatriya, fighting spirit. We should have that fighting spirit. Preaching means war, declaration of war against Maya, so we should fight. In that way, we can bring so many techniques by which we can distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. That installment is possible. Even if the temple cannot take up the installment for everything, but every devotee, they can take 15-20 sets in their house, they can give to their known persons monthly 1,500. You can take care of those things, installment thing, and you can pay full to the temple. In that way, temple is not becoming a burden. So think of things by which you can distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. We have few techniques which we will let you know, which to a good extent I have said here also. You please start if you have not begun, or if you have already begun, you please become more and more vigorous in distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Now it's high time that people have money. People have sufficient money now. They have so much of money power now. Please take advantage of this money power that even the poor people are having. I see many times in the slums, they have this, this antenna, this television antennas. Even the slums, they have television in their house, antenna, they are spending money. We should go and distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets to each and every conditioned soul. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So I stop here. Any questions and comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful lecture and inspiring us to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. I was having a question about that. We hear that Krishna sanctions our even illicit actions also. So like we compare Krishna with our father, like, so father don't actually sanction our every desire. So why Krishna sanctions our illicit actions also? Because that is harmful for us actually.
Mm-hmm. Now Krishna, many times he tried to stop you from doing that, but we did not obey Krishna. We are a disobedient child, and if Krishna is continuously going to do it, then he may lose his position as a father. So what can be done if we are very stubborn to do something? Just as Prabhupada gives the example of a child, the child is so insistent on touching the fire, the father will try to stop the child. But if the father is keep on doing it, but the child is keep on desiring to touch the fire, then what happens? The child becomes so rebellious and he goes against the father to a bigger extent then. So sometimes the father allows the child to little bit touch, and then once it experiences the heat, then the child will never do that. And Krishna has also given us an independence. So what can be done? Yeah. Anyway, I just mentioned that quote so that we should have some pure desire, not illicit desire. We should have always pure desire.
Thank you, Bro.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. Like sometimes when I distribute these books, so people say nowadays I have online, since we have online, So they say we have online, so we'll read it online, and it's like we can travel anywhere and we can read rather than taking books and then costly, or they themselves say I have. So what do you say for this?
And there are this costly. Yeah, generally the first thing is that people say it's costly. We always say that you just take a mobile from your smartphone. Is it costly? Do you feel that costly? Nobody saw that mobile phone as a costly. It's actually preaching only. Definitely people will say that this is costly. But when you give them a logical analysis of how you are wasting your money in things which are not necessary for you or which is even harming you. Mobile phone, I always give this logic. The person who sold a mobile phone to you, he never thought even a little in his mind that let me benefit this person. Never he will think. The people who are selling smartphones to you, they are not thinking of your well-being. In fact, they will think that how I can make money out of this person. When somebody in the shop says that this is the best phone, take it. It means he is having the best profit in that. He is not after your well-being. He is not after your interest at all. He only thinks how I can exploit this person, take money, take profit. So when you approach a person, you say that, you give the same example, that somebody wants to cheat you, somebody wants to exploit you, somebody wants to take all advantage of you, but you happily agree to buy such a smartphone, such a television, two-wheeler, all sorts of things. But I am approaching you to give Bhagavatam, which I am not going to make any profit out of that, and I am not going to cheat you also, exploit you also. So why you are fallacy? Why you are being this? What is this fallacy all about? You please genuine. You please take it like that. So in some way you can convince the person to take Srimad Bhagavatam. And somebody who says, let me read online, I will say that buy online. Don't read for free. Don't read for free. Buy online. There is translation available. Prabhupada books are available online also. But you buy it. I often say that when we give Srimad Bhagavatam to a person, we are not selling Bhagavatam. We are only asking for the print cost of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam cannot be sold. We cannot sell Bhagavatam. If at all somebody has to buy Bhagavatam by paying a royalty, because all these books are distributed around the world with royalty. If Bhagavatam has to be paid with royalty, then even millions of Anil Ambanis put their wealth together, they cannot even pay a single word of Srimad Bhagavatam. They cannot pay royalty to Srimad Bhagavatam. They can only pay a print cost for Bhagavatam and help us in printing more books, that's all. We are not asking for royalty. We are saying that you please pay whatever the print cost, or if it's online, whatever the site management is needed, that we are doing, so we do that. If anything is for free, we don't take it seriously. So we should always pay, then we will. Prabhupada said, don't give these books for free. If they pay, they will read it. It's, of course, devotees are also reading online, but they are also donating so many times to temples. So for them, it's not a problem. But if somebody is saying that, let me read online, why you should take it, then that's exploitation. We should make them understand that you just pay something, so that this like a dakshina, whatever knowledge you are getting, so you should do something. Then you will value it. I think it's becoming crowded too.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji has elaborately explained how to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhuji is here for another 1 month, and he will be going to different counselors' counseling meeting. And if any of the counselors want to invite Prabhuji to your counselor meeting, then please contact me so that I can arrange the program. And also we are sure that this year we are going to distribute many Srimad Bhagavatam. Personally, I am fully convinced. Actually, I also want to learn how to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Rightly, Prabhuji also telling that I was distributing World Book Encyclopedia, that is 25 years before. It was costing 25,000 rupees at that time, that we are able to distribute because of installment available. But in ISKCON Pune also, we are going to start this installment payment for Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So I will not speak much. Let us thank Prabhuji by loudly chanting one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय। और साथ साथ में आप सबको दूसरा एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण अनाउंसमेंट देना था। तो इस साल अयोध्या में श्री रामचंद्र भगवान का राम मंदिर ओपन होने वाला है। इसमें इस्कॉन के तरफ से हम 4 एक्टिविटी करने वाले हैं। इसमें से एक चीज है कीर्तन होगा, और दूसरा प्रीचिंग होगा, तीसरा करोड़ों की संख्या में लोग आने वाले उनके लिए प्रसादम का वितरण होगा, और चौथा है भगवद गीता का वितरण। ये भगवद गीता फ्री डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होने वाला है। जो भी एक धर्म नाम के छोटा किताब या लॉज ऑफ नेचर जो भी परचेस करेगा उसके लिए भगवद गीता फ्री में दिया जाएगा। ऐसे 3 लाख भगवद गीता इस्कॉन के तरफ से फ्री में डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होने वाला है। तो ये कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा, तो हमने आईसीसी मीटिंग में वो वहां पर डिसाइड किया है, अलग अलग मंदिर से अलग अलग क्वांटिटी में जो ग्रंथ दान होता है, शास्त्र दान होता है, उसमें जो भी अवेलेबल है वहां पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा। तो दिल्ली से 25,000, जुहू से 25,000, मायापुर से 25,000 और पुणे से कम 25,000 ये ग्रंथ वहां पर वितरण किया जाएगा। तो ये लाइफ टाइम जीवन में एक ही बार ऐसा अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है। जो भी आप में से अयोध्या मंदिर में मंदिर ओपनिंग के टाइम में ग्रंथ वितरण दान करना चाहते हैं तो आप जीवदय में कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, और बहुत ही सिस्टमैटिकली इसका प्रोपेगेंडा भी होगा, और पोस्टर और बहुत सारे चीजें आपको दिया जाएगा। तो आप भी ऐसा प्रचार कर सकते हैं। खास करके हिंदू धर्म का प्रचार करने के लिए बहुत से लोग बहुत उत्सुक रहते हैं, तो आप भी उसमें से भाग ले सकते हैं। हरे कृष्ण।
That's all. Okay. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं। नमामीश्वरं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम्। यशोदाभियो लोकलादवमानां परमृष्ट यशोदाभियो लोकलादवमानां परमृष्टमत्यन्तं तोदृत्य गोप्य परमृष्टमत्यन्तं तोदृत्य गोप्य रुदन्तमोहो नेत्रयुग्मामृजान्तं करम्बोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् रुदन्तमोहो नेत्रयुग्मामृजान्तं करम्बोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकं पात्रेरेकाङ्ककण्ठ मुहुश्वासकं पात्रेरेकाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिभद्रम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषितं येषु भक्तजिदात्मान् तदीयेषितं येषु भक्तजिदात्मान् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतवृत्तिवन्दे पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतवृत्तिवन्दे वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषदपीह वरं देव मोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषदपीह इदं ते वपुनाथ गोपाल भाला इदं ते वपुनाथ गोपाल बाला सदा मे मनस्य वीरस्तं किमन्ये सदा मे मनस्य वीरस्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मूकाम्बोजामत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुण्डलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्य इदं ते मूकाम्बोजामत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुण्डलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्य मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मानस्य विरस्तमलं लक्षलवै मानस्य विरस्तमलं लक्षलवै नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलब्धिमग्नम् नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जलब्धिमग्नम् कृपा दृष्टि वृष्ण्यथे दीनं बधानो कृपा दृष्टि वृष्ट्यथे दीनं बधानो गृहानेश मामाज्ञां यद्यक्षिदृश्य गृहानेश मामाज्ञां यद्यक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुत्यैव यद्वत् त्वयमुचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुत्यैव यद्वत् त्वयमुचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहमेस्ति दामोदरेह न मोक्षे गृहमेस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायद विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्तेस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायद विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Viyoluka Ladavamana Yashoda Viyoluka Ladavamana Paramrishtam Tamatyanto Drutya Gopya Paramrishtamadhyanta Todrutya Gopya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Shri Damodar Ashtakam ki jai, Shri Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank God.